Hi, Maria here. Welcome to my channel. Today I want to talk about some love at first sniffs. So sometimes fragrances have to grow on us. We have to kind of sit with them for a little while before we really know if we love them or not. And maybe sometimes it's not even a love, it's a like. So I have some fragrances where I smelt it at first and I'm like, what is this? And they ended up being massive obsessions for me. But there are other fragrances where they're love at first sniff, and that never changes. Bizarrely, the fragrances that were in my I'm bored category, most of them were love at first sniffs, but then I got bored of them. These ones, I am not bored of them. I just love them, and they're all fragrances that work amazing in the summer as well. So I can't wait to share them with you. But before we get started, if you haven't, what is growing out of the sun? Okay, I looked like I had a sideburn. If you haven't subscribed, just go ahead and hit that button. Join the Weird and Wonderful family. It would be amazing to have you part of the community. And let's get into this. I want to talk about a newer fragrance to begin with, and that is Still Life in Rio by Olfactive Studio. I first smelt this fragrance from Hesse, who gave me a sample, and I just fell in love with it. Basically, it's like a lime rum drink. Now, it's different from something like a Broceliande, which is also a love at first sniff, but I talk about that one all the time. This one is a clear drink, so it would smell like some sort of lime rum drink, but not the creamy aspect. I enjoy this fragrance so much. It's so refreshing. It's a freshie, but it's the kind of freshie that I like. So it doesn't go too woody. It's green, it's limey, it's minty, it's refreshing, it's boozy. So it's a fantastic fragrance for that major heat. I just think about relaxing at a resort or something like that, and you want to put on something that's just fresh, invigorating and casual. Still Life in Rio fits that description. Now I'm going to read the notes because I don't know if I ever have on this fragrance. It's yuzu, lemon, ginger, mint, and mandarin orange in the opening, coconut, black pepper, and pink pepper in the middle. And in the base, you have rum, copaiba balm, and leather. Now, to be honest, I don't get a ton of leather at all. In fact, I didn't even know that there was leather in here. So that's not a prominent note to me. What I get is the limey rum aspect, a little bit of coconut in there as it warms up on the skin, and just delicious, refreshing, energizing, invigorating. That is this fragrance. And for a freshie, I didn't find that it was like short-lived. So sometimes freshies like this are really short-lived. This got moderate projection, longevity, all of that. So really, I really love this. It's just an invigorating vacation in a bottle. Still Life in Rio, amazing. My first fragrance by haul was Sophia, Alien Eau Sublime, and Toile Imperatrice by Dolce & Gabbana. I love this. It's like aquatic, musky, fruity. It's got rhubarb, kiwi, watermelon in it. And I definitely get the melon. It's just, like, look at the color of that juice. That's kind of the feel. So again, really refreshing, really kind of light, and somehow a little bit sensual, but just a fun kind of relaxing fragrance to wear. This is a fragrance that I will oftentimes reach for in the major heat because it's not too much. This definitely has a musky component. And you have to like that, the tartness of the rhubarb mixed with that watermelon. So some people don't like this fragrance. I just think it's fantastic. It's an easy reach for me. It smells just refreshing and relaxing somehow. So I love this one for the summer. I find that the longevity, like some people go, oh, it's basically like a body splash. But honestly, I find that the longevity on this one is moderate. So between 4.5, 5 hours is what I get on my skin. So I love this one. Being I'm talking about Dolce & Gabbana, I might as well mention this one. Now, the iconic fragrance from Dolce & Gabbana is light blue intense. I cannot stand that fragrance. I know everybody loves it. I know that guys love it on girls. I know it's like a major hit, like a cult favorite, but it just goes weird on my skin. My sister has the same thing. She's tried it because you know, you kind of want to like Dolce & Gabbana's light blue because everyone loves it, has it. It doesn't work on her skin chemistry either. So it just goes weird on me. It really pulls so woody. So I am not a fan of it at all. But light blue, Love is Love. I love this fragrance. Now, my friend Lori gave it to me years ago because she couldn't smell it. So it is a lighter fragrance. This one doesn't last too long, like about 4 hours. But I love it. And the reason why I love it is this one has raspberry, it's got lemon, it's got the iconic Granny Smith apple. I don't get that at all. What I get is raspberry and almost like a lemon sorbet. So there's ice cream and whipped cream in this too. It doesn't smell super lactonic, but there is just a slight, like almost like an iced milk vibe to this. And then as it dries down on the skin, you definitely get a little bit more of that whipped cream feel, but it always stays fresh. So this is another freshie that I absolutely love for the summer. Never gets too thick or cloying, and it's so fun with the raspberry in there and that ice creamy feel. It feels like a lemon sorbet with raspberry compote on top and a dollop of whipped cream. I love it, like so delicious. Another fragrance that is relatively new to my collection that was love at first sniff, like seriously, love at first sniff, is Burberry Goddess. Now, I've heard people say that this is kind of a basic vanilla. If this is basic, I'm basic. Like, I love this fragrance. So it's definitely vanilla, but what makes this stand out is the fact that it has a little hit of lavender in there, which I definitely get, and it just makes it so interesting. And it smells, I think there's a little bit of ginger in here as well. It almost has a lemony vibe. So it almost smells like a lemon lavender shortbread cookie, heavy on the vanilla, like vanilla bean kind of thing. I just think this smells so warm, so inviting, so comforting. I find this to be a very sophisticated vanilla, and I find that this is a vanilla that you could brighten up with some fruits. But honestly, I find this interesting enough that I don't want to mix it with anything. So really enjoy wearing this. This is great for cozy summer evenings. It's not so heavy that you couldn't wear it during the day. That said, if it's super hot outside, I think this may get to be a bit much. Seriously, it's one of my favorite vanillas. It's one of my favorite vanillas for sure. I really enjoy the lavender in here. It's not too much. It's kind of underneath, as if it were baked in a cookie. That's what it reminds me of. I just think it's gorgeous. I never thought I would be a vanilla fan, but more and more I'm finding that I'm really enjoying them. Really enjoy Bianco Latte. That was a love at first sniff too. But this one, like I put it on my skin. I wasn't expecting much because Burberry and me don't really get along. I love the way they smell, so I love Burberry Her. When I first smelt that, I'm like, I have to have it. And then I sprayed it on my skin and it went weird. So I'm like, okay, I can't do it. Like, it smelled amazing for the first half an hour, and then it just goes really chemically and weird. Smells like a mixture of chemicals, Baccarat Rouge, and a little bit of strawberry. So I didn't have high hopes for this, and I put it on my skin and I'm like, what is this elixir of the gods? Like, it was so good. So love this fragrance big time. Another love at first sniff that I think is super fun for summer is So Scandal by Jean Paul Gaultier. Now, I love talking about Scandal à Paris. I would say it's my favorite, but it wasn't love at first sniff. I had to get my head around the honey in that one. This has no honey, and it's just fun. Like, this is a fun fragrance. It smells like, it smells almost like if you had a raspberry freezy. So but like a little bit more of an elevated raspberry freezy, but a raspberry freezy, like those like frozen like popsicles in a bag. I don't enjoy eating them, like they make my teeth stand on edge, but the smell of that, or like if there was a raspberry, like a really bright, luscious raspberry Jolly Rancher, that's kind of what this reminds me of. So this has tuberose, raspberry, and milk. It is a little bit milky, but definitely not massive lactonic feel. So a slight, like it would be like if you had a bowl of raspberries with some bubblegum tuberose hanging around in the air, and then you put literally a splash of milk in with the raspberries, that's what you would get. This is a more synthetic raspberry, more candy-like, but just mouth-watering. Like, I smell this and instantly I start to feel it back here. So really enjoy this. It's fun, it's energizing, it's mood boosting. Doesn't last like really long, like I get about 5 hours out of this one, but I just think it's a very fun fragrance to wear. I also think that this makes a great date night fragrance, date day, date night fragrance, because it is sweet and sexy enough that I think a guy would really enjoy it. So Scandal. I don't hear this one talked about near as much. Maybe because it's not like, you know, like the Scandal line. It's like indolic honey and like being devoured and that sort of thing. Whereas this is like happy-go-lucky. Like, if this is the happy-go-lucky girl, a little bit quirky out of the Scandal line, it doesn't quite fit the same way. But it's just, to me, a summer day, happy, doing something you love in a bottle. Last love at first sniff. I first got a sample of this. I had ordered Soradora's Jani. And so I got Jani. I thought I would like that one better because Mallow had the violet in it. And I'm like, I'm not sure I would like the violet. And so I got Jani, which is an amazing fragrance. But that wasn't a love at first sniff. I had a sample of this and I put it on and I'm like, oh, that is amazing. I couldn't believe that I loved this fragrance so much because it had violet in it. This is way better than Love Don't Be Shy. It's way better than Oriana. No, it's not the same fragrance. Like, it's not a dupe of those, but it fits in that same category. So it would be like a cousin of those two. This is way better. That violet is literally spectacular. Like, this fragrance made me love violet as a note. Like, I fell in love with violet because of this fragrance. Mallow has raspberry, vanilla, and pink pepper in the opening. In the middle, it has heliotrope, orange blossom, and almond, and then the base is violet, black musk, and amber. This fragrance stays fluffy. It feels like there could be marshmallow in it. If you like fragrances like Oriana and Love Don't Be Shy, you would love this, I think, as long as you don't mind the powderiness of the violet. The powderiness of the violet adds almost like a little bit of a coldness to this, like just a drop of cold, which makes it somehow refreshing. The raspberry is spectacular in here. I noticed the raspberry more in this than I do in Oriana. It's just absolutely beautiful. I think it's sophisticated, it's feminine, it's celebratory, it's just a little bit different. I think it's something that you could wear as a wedding fragrance, or going to a wedding, or any sort of a luxurious party that you're going to in the summer that's sophisticated. I would pull this fragrance out, but honestly, you can wear this daily. To me, this makes a beautiful signature fragrance. Like, seriously, it's absolutely gorgeous. And my son gravitates for sure towards Soradora, but he smells this and he absolutely loves this fragrance as well. The longevity on this is amazing. I find that I don't smell it after about 5 hours, but I will get compliments on this after 8. So definitely people are smelling it. I just lose sight of it at about the 5-hour mark, but seriously, everybody else will smell you and you will smell amazing. So this was a love at first sniff. I smelt it in that little sample and I was like, I picked the wrong one. I didn't. Like, they're both fantastic. But honestly, if I was to choose, you can't compare the two. But for the two new fragrances, Mallow is my favorite. I just think it's amazing. It's also very versatile because you can wear this in the summer. You can wear this all year round. So I love this fragrance. I just think it's beautiful. I love the bottle. I love the pink writing on it. It's just, to me, spectacular. So good. And that is it. That is 6 summer love at first sniffs for me. What about you? What are a few of your love at first sniff? You smelt it, you fell in love with it, and it's been a major love for you ever since. Please leave it in the comments. I would love to know. And other than that, have an amazing week. Talk to you soon.